So unexpectedly, DanMachi has finally answered the series' biggest question to date, the one in the title. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Now, some haters have always said that, hey, the show isn't even about picking girls up in a dungeon. And to those people I say, yes it has. Did you not even see Bell do it in, say, Season 4? I mean, he quite literally has been picking up girls off and on, really since Season 3 if you think of it. But here's the thing. That question has never been answered. No one has looked at Bell and truly said, should you pick up girls in a dungeon? Until Hedon comes in and says, yes, you should. Granted, if you do that to Seer, you'll probably get killed. But if it's any other girl other than her, who has some weird connection with Freya that we still have no idea what it is, since they literally can exist on screen, I don't know, sisters maybe? I don't know. But yes, the question has finally been answered. It is okay to pick up girls in a dungeon. I have full live reactions to this Riz Focus episode and any of these DanMachi episodes over on Patreon. If you want some of my full good thoughts over there exclusively. This episode sent me. We literally end the episode 1 of Season 5 with Bell getting his ass jumped. Saw some people being like, oh my god, Bell was like so strong in Season 4 and they nerfed him in Season 5. I think people are actually forgetting that the Freya familiar is quite literally the strongest familia that is currently active. Not only that, Bell got jumped, and once you, like, if the rock gets sideswept hard enough, I mean, even the rock gonna go down, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, this familia, just because Bell is a lot stronger, he's not the strongest in the show, right? I'm walking into this episode thinking he's about to get, like, I understood. They just have some weird obsession with Seer. The whole Freya familia just, it's a little unhinged. I'm thinking we're going to kickstart this episode off with Bell tied up to a chair and an interrogation scene. You know, the light comes down, so what are your intentions with Seer? Instead, he takes him out to a cafe and basically says, here, you got 2 options, bro. And basically both options are to worship the ground she walks on. He spent an entire episode training Riz. Training how to quite literally pick up women and to make the dates perfection. At one point, Bell quite literally goes into the dungeon and picks up 3. The fact that somehow Hestia missed all this, could you imagine Hestia's? I think she would have died on the spot. I think she would have had a stroke if she saw what our boy was able to pull off with this training. We went from Season 4, Hell on Earth, the deepest and darkest pits of despair, to an arc that is about picking up girls. And honestly, you can't say this for every show, but it actually works perfectly for a couple of different reasons. You don't want to just throw the viewer immediately back into an arc like Season 4. Like, you're just torturing the viewers at that point. So you do gotta do something a little differently. 2, it is just a funny-ass way to just lower tensions while still keeping a giant mystery over our heads. This is just a silly arc, but it's also a little tragic. I mean, the fact that Seer has to quite literally look at Bell and say, please kidnap me, no matter where I go, they're always watching over me. Like, she quite literally just wants to have a normal life, which is probably why she works at the tavern there. Maybe she's really trying to just have the most normal thing ever in a familia that kind of, like, keeps such a close eye that she never quite has privacy. So you have something that's super interesting there, but also, like, what is her connection? Because, you know, like I thought I remembered, but I wasn't sure because it's been a bit. You know, the theory's always been that they were the same person, because you never saw Freya and Seer on screen at the same time. Now that we have, it's like, what is this, right? And based on what I saw in my comment section last week, apparently that's going to be a very common confusion for this entire arc is, you know, when you read the arc, or I guess now in the case of watching the anime, you're questioning it the whole last time, and it's quite literally next to impossible to predict. Right now, I would assume siblings or something, like maybe that would make sense, but even then I don't really have a strong belief one way or another. But it was a great episode. I don't think anyone would have believed if you told them last week that the reason Bell got jumped was because he needed to take the Riz training course. But oddly enough, for the Freya Familia, this is actually probably the most logical outcome for them. I didn't think of it at the moment, but after seeing what I just witnessed, it absolutely was true. Now, as for the actual date that Bell went on, it was hilarious because, like, he did everything perfectly, right? And it's so adorable that Seer is, like, pretty much waiting for Bell to just be a goof. Basically, she wants the embarrassed boy, the one who's like, oh my god, you tried some of my food, you're blushing and embarrassed. Might want to grab my hand, so I'll grab it for you. She's basically wanting to take the lead and do all these things and see the most adorable version of Belle. And he's Prince Charming here. He's doing everything flawlessly to the point that it implodes, and he has to admit that he's been trained and he doesn't know what to do in certain situations. Master didn't teach me, and it just kind of all clicks for her. It was kind of nice, though, because, for Bell, like, he's after Eyes. Like, that's his love interest. Of course, I have sources saying in the source material, their dynamics more genuine, and you understand why he's super, like, invested. That's great. I don't care. Like, quite literally, any of the girls he had a flirtatious moment with in this episode, I think, is probably more chemistry there, but that's just me. So it's kind of hilarious seeing her just get, like, immediately jealous over Seer, who then she just has to start stuffing her face more aggressively. Hell, even Hestia had to do the same thing when she learned about what's been going down in this market. It's pretty damn funny. I liked what they did. It was silly and ridiculous, but it's not one of those episodes that's just like, hey, how do we go from this intense life or death moment, and it's just a silly date episode. That's the core aspect of this episode, but deeper than that, it's the mystery of the Freya Familia. Why they're so obsessed with her, why they keep such a close eye on her, and why, if Bell learns the truth of Seer, he can never see her again. Like, what is the reasoning for that? There is a lot of mystery there, but at its core, it's a very silly and fun episode, but it could go crazy the deeper we go into this. From what I understand, though, by the end of this season, we will mostly be caught up with the light novels, and given the popularity of DanMachi, I'm almost 100% sure that they will do an anime original movie for DanMachi in between seasons 5 and 6, so it gives more breathing room. So I imagine that's what they're gonna do, kind of similar to like a Spy Family or something like that, but time will tell. Let me know what you thought of this episode, though, down below. They definitely answered the series' biggest question, and we now have the answer. It is okay to pick up girls in a dungeon, as long as it's not Seer. Thoughts down below, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Ishoten, Daw, Kieran Dean, The Legend of Sora 73, Shado, Armana, and we also have Kev. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.